One more thing. Aldi's wife, Maxine, told him to get out of the night. She came home from work and found Aldi drunk again and being abusive to Ray, their 15-year-old. Aldi and Ray were at the kitchen table, arguing. Maxine didn't have time to put her purse away or take off her coat. Ray said, "Tell him, Mom. Tell him what we talked about." Aldi turned the glass in his hand, but he didn't drink from it. Maxine had him in the fierce and disquieting gaze. "Keep your nose out of things you don't know anything about," Aldi said. Aldi said, "I can't take anybody seriously who sits around all day reading astrology magazines." "This has nothing to do with astrology," Ray said. "You don't have to insult me." As for Ray, she hadn't been to school for weeks. She said no one could make her go. Maxine said it was another tragedy in a long line of low-rent tragedies. "Why don't you both shut up?" Maxine said. "My God, I already have a headache." "Tell him, Mom," I said. "Tell him it's all in his head. Anybody who knows anything about it will tell you that's where it is." "How about sugar diabetes?" Aldi said. "What about epilepsy? Can the brain control that?" He raised the glass right under Maxine's eyes and finished his drink. "Diabetes too," Ray said. "Epilepsy, anything that brings the most powerful organ in the body for your information." She picked up his cigarette, lit one for himself. "Cancer. What about cancer?" Aldi said. He thought he might have heard that. He looked at Maxine. "I don't know how we got started on this," Aldi said to Maxine. "Cancer," Ray said, and shook her head at his simplicity. "Cancer too. Cancer starts in the brain." "That's crazy," Aldi said. He hit the table with the flat of his hand. The ashtray jumped. His glass fell on its side and rolled off. "You're crazy, Ray. Do you know that?" "Shut up," Maxine said. She unbuttoned her coat and put her purse down the counter. She looked at Aldi and said, "Aldi, I've had it, so has Ray. So I say, everyone who knows you, thinking it over, I want you out of here tonight, this minute, now. Get the hell out of here right now." Aldi had no intention of going anywhere. He looked from Maxine to the jar of pickles that had been on the table since lunch. He picked up the jar and pitched it through the kitchen window. Ray jumped away from a chair. "God, he's crazy!" She went to stand next to her mother. She took a little breath through her mouth. "Call the police," Maxine said. "He's violent. Get out of the kitchen before he hurts you. Call the police," Maxine said. He started backing out of the kitchen. "I'm going," Aldi said. "All right, I'm going right now," he said. "It suits me to a T. You're nuts here anyway. This is no nut house. There's another life out there, believe me. There's no picnic. It's nut house." He could feel air from the hole in the window on his face. "That's where I'm going," he says. "Out there," he said and pointed. "Good," Maxine said. "All right, I'm going," Aldi said. He slammed down his hand on the table. He kicked back his chair. He stood up. "You will never see me again," Aldi said. "You've given me plenty to remember you by," Maxine said. "Okay," Aldi said. "Go on, get out," Maxine said. "I'm paying the rent here and I'm going to go. Now." "I'm going," he said. "Don't push me," he said. "I'm going." "Just go," Maxine said. "I'm leaving this nut house," Aldi said. He made his way into the bedroom and took one of her suitcases from the closet. It was an old white nugget-hide suitcase with a broken glass. She used to pack it full of sweater sets and carried it with her to college. She had gone to college too. He threw the suitcase onto the bed and began putting his underwear, his trousers, his shirts, his sweaters, his old leather belt with a brass buckle, his socks, and everything else he had. From the nightstand, he took a magazines for reading material. He took the ashtray. He put everything he could into the suitcase, everything it could hold. He fastened the one good side, secured the strap, and then he remembered his bathroom things. He found the vinyl shaving bag up on the closet shelf behind the hat. Into it went his razor and his shaving cream. his talcum powder, and his stick deodorant, and his toothbrush. He took the toothpaste too, and then he got the dental floss. You could hear them in the living room talking in their low voices. He washed his face. He put the soap and towel into the shaving bag. Then he put in the soap dish and the glass from over the sink and the fingernail clippers and her eyelash curls. He couldn't get the shaving bag closed, but that was okay. He put on his coat and picked up the suitcase. He went into the living room. When she saw him, Maxim put her arm around Ray's shoulders. "This is it," Elodie said. "This is goodbye." He said, "I don't know what else to say except I guess I'll never see you again." "You too," Elodie said to Ray. "You and your crackpot ideas." "Go," Maxim said. She took Ray's hand. "Haven't you done enough damage in this house already? Go on, Elodie. Get out of here and leave us in peace." "Just remember," Ray said, "it's in your head." "I'm going, that's all I can say," Elodie said. "Any place away from this nut house," he said. "That's the main thing." He took a last look around the living room, and then he moved the suitcase from one hand to the other and put the shaving bag under his arm. "I'll be in touch, Ray, Maxine. You're better off out of this nut house yourself." "You made it into a nut house," Maxine said. "If it's a nut house, then that's what you made it." He put the suitcase down and shaving bag on top of the suitcase. He drew himself up and faced them. They moved back. "Watch him, Mom," he said. "I'm not afraid of him," Maxim said. Elodie put the shaving bag on his arm and picked up the suitcase. He said, "I just want to say one more thing." But then he could not think what it could possibly be.